What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 114 now of the career mode. We're into episode, as I say, 114, and it's episode 2 of our new journey here at Inter Milan. We started yesterday, or we kicked off yesterday, with a double upload. Firstly came up the road to glory career mode, and then we had the first episode of our new journey in which we went over to Inter Milan. So if you missed that, go back yesterday's episode, check it out, and of course you'll be able to see what the team looks like here and the squad report and all that good stuff. You can also see how much we've got to spend here at Inter Milan. So that was yesterday's episode, but in today's one, guys, we've got 3 more games to come. Of course, I missed the first transfer window of the season, and therefore we will not be able to sign any players into the team until January. So that's where all of your guys' suggestions will be acted upon. So leave your suggestions down below. Right now, my shortlist is completely free. If I ever miss a suggestion, don't worry, guys. Just simply put it down again. And of course, I'll take a look at it once again. If I ever miss it, as I say, just repeat your suggestion, put it in another comment on the channel, and then hopefully I'll see it on that occasion. But I never really spoke, I don't think, in yesterday's episode in terms of my goals for the upcoming season. Of course, we only came in here about three games into the season, so we basically have a full league campaign and also a full Champions League campaign to come with Inter Milan here. So my thought process is if we can get anywhere near the top in terms of like the first or second position, that would be great. But of course, you've got the likes of Torino here, who of course they have Joe Hart in real life. He's not here anymore though. In this career mode, they've got you've got Juventus, you've got Lazio, Roma, AC Milan, all these really good Italian sides. And so therefore, I feel as though if we can get ourselves into the top 4 this season, that will be a great achievement for us. But I mean, at least I'm expecting us to hit at least top 4. I'm sort of considering maybe top 2, depending on how we can do in this season upcoming. Because we, of course, got off to a great start last episode. If you haven't watched it, like I said, go back and check it. And if we can build upon that and sign some players in January that are going to be really good for us, we will have a very good base team here. But we kicked the episode off against Torino here, as I did mention, and the first chance took right until the second half. And that man again, Raul Jimenez, pops up with a goal. And I tell you what, guys, he was on the verge of leaving. And when I say on the verge of leaving, I don't mean, of course, for a transfer value. But what I meant was, my mindset coming into it after the squad report, after seeing everything, I was 100% sure he would be going in January. I even transfer listed him, threw him up on the list and was like, you know what, he's going in January. Turns out, he is the top scorer in the Serie A. Not only that, he's also the top assist maker as well. So that's automatically earned him to come off of the transfer list, and automatically, in my mind, he will be one of the players to keep here at Inter Milan. So I can't wait to see what we can do in terms of him and his personal sort of goal-to-game ratio, because right now, he's hitting a goal-to-game ratio every single game, plus the extra assists, as I did mention. So, in terms of players, I mentioned as well that João Mario is possibly going to be one of our most important players for the upcoming season here, last episode. Tell you what, Raul Jimenez may be just that. And you can see here, we managed to go 2-0 up in this one. A little nice move, but I guess the low-driven shot there was one of them things. It's like weird, because sometimes it works, and other times I completely messed the strike up. On that occasion, though, it sort of worked, and it ended up in the back of the net, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the most cleanest of strikes by any stretch of the imagination. The keeper probably should be saving that one, as it did come back off the inside of the post and nestled into the back of the net. So, decent little goal there for our teammates, and of course, guys, as always, you guys are incredible for all the support you give me on the channel. I want to say right now as well, we are close to hitting the 5,000 subscriber mark, and when I said we'd do that, you would have a full, or a Q&A, I guess, and over the gameplay you're going to see as well, it's literally going to be a sim between Southampton and Manchester United to try and predict the upcoming EFL Cup final, which of course is coming in February sometimes at the back end. I can't remember the exact date of it, but I know for sure that those are the two teams, of course. So I simmed it ahead, and I tried to predict the outcome, I guess, or EA are going to try and predict the outcome whilst I talk over the Q&A, so hopefully you'll enjoy that one as well. But this game here was completely done, in all honesty, guys. As soon as Raul Jimenez got the opening goal, Torino had to commit men forward, and that is a phenomenal save from the Torino goalkeeper. Really should have been 3-0 there. I should have been cruising in this one. I was still pretty cruising, if I have to say, but it would have been nice to win the game by 3-0 and surely assert our dominance. But you can see another 3 points on the board against very tough opposition in Torino, as I did mention. So it's the way I like to see it. You know, 3 points and a clean sheet. It's always good to get the clean sheet and the 3 points available to ourselves as well. So that's pretty good to see. But in terms as well of personal signings, I asked you guys in yesterday's episode, as I'm recording this, that episode hasn't gone live yet, so I don't actually know what the suggestions were left by you guys. I don't know what in full detail what kind of, players you guys have told me to do, but I have got in mind a couple of players that I want to get personally, which aren't suggestions, or you guys may suggest it in the end, but there are a couple of players as well. So just know that when I'm actually recording this, I haven't seen those, but I'm going to give you now right now what my sort of thought process is. I'm considering, and this may be a weird one to some people, but at the same time, other people might understand it. I mentioned Mitchell, or was it Mitchell? I can't remember. The CDM who we had at Leeds, I can't remember. His name's, Will Jackson, that's it. Will Jackson for the CDM role. But I am considering bring in N'Golo Kante over here. Now, the reason that some people may consider that as a weird one is simply because of the fact that N'Golo Kante now is, well, I think he's in his early 30s, actually. I think he's 31, but I could be wrong there. But people probably wouldn't have expected me to pick up N'Golo Kante. But the thing is, guys, he was unreal for me at Leeds United. And I firmly believe that if we picked him up for Inter Milan here, and we could probably get him on the cheap as well because of his age and because of his contract situation there, in the respect that he hasn't got too long left on it, we may be looking at a deal of around £15 million for N'Golo Kante. And for me, he would be worth every single penny of that. I will see how much Leeds United come back and say they want for him. Of course, at our former club, they may give us a nice deal, but at the same time, they could be very, very stingy and say they want a load of money for him. I'm hoping they turn around and say around 15 million, because it would be good to have that sort of transfer fee for him. But I suppose it's one of them signings that a lot of people wouldn't be expecting me to make, in the respect that, of course, he's getting old now, and a lot of people probably wouldn't expect it. But that is definitely one of the players I'm looking at bringing in, N'Golo Kante, and that could be a pretty big signing, because right now I've got Donser, and I mentioned yesterday's episode as well in that one, that I was looking at him thinking that he could be a good player, but I don't like the fact that he's quite small, but I guess N'Golo Kante is even shorter, and he does a good job for us, so maybe that'll grow me in time. And the second thing is that, like, he's really weird, because some games I play with him and think he's an absolute beast, and in other games he's passing is a bit off, and his just general gameplay's a bit off. So maybe it's one of those players that has to just grow on you, or sort of you have to play a few times before you get used to how he plays and stuff. But for right now, I know Donser's absolutely amazing and stuff, and if he improves, or if he shows me that he's capable of holding down that central defensive mid spot against some of the world's best, in terms of, like, of course, we've still got to play Juventus here, so it could be interesting to see what they have up front, because, of course, I think they've got Higuain still, but I could be wrong there. They don't have Paulo Dybala with the fact that he's gone to Manchester United, but if we can hold down his CDM spot in, you know, the Champions League and stuff, and play extremely well against some of the top strikers and the top attacking players in the world, then I'll seriously consider keeping him here, and he will be possibly one of the players to keep here in the future. But if he can't, I will be looking elsewhere for a CDM. So keep your suggestions coming down, guys, and of course I'll take a look at them in the comments, and as I mentioned, if I miss any of them, put them in the next video, and I will try my best. But this one here, we're taking on AC Milan, of course, the same team that share the ground with us. And this one was weird, because they did have Aubameyang, of course, one of the players we were looking at Leeds when he was still here. He broke through originally, absolutely mugged me off, got a strike away, it was a decent save, and João Mario pops up in a position, takes a strike on, it comes back off the post, and thankfully for us, just drops into the back of the net. So within the first 40 or so minutes, a chance had gone either way, but we'd taken advantage of ours in the fact that João Mario had finished his off, whereas they didn't manage to do it then by Niang, and then we really should have been 2-0 up here. We hit the post. I was agonisingly wishing that was going to go in the back of the net, but it didn't do, and it fell back into the box, and I was gutted, because I felt as though if I'd have scored that, killed the game off, that was it. AC Milan were out of it. But you can, at 1-0, any game is possible that you can either go on to draw it or possibly even lose it. We saw last year at Bayer Leverkusen when we were at Leeds, we were 1-0 up in the game, we lost it 2-1 in the last 10 minutes. So it's very possible that you can lose games in this one, even at 1-0, and feeling like you're cruising. And Milan created another chance here, and this was so close to ending up in the back of the net. Fantastic run down the left-hand side, crosses the ball in. Mari takes a strike on, and thankfully for us, it went wide of that post. From the goal kick, though, we had ourselves a chance. We went down the right-hand side here, and that's another position I want to sort of strengthen. My right-hand side and my left-hand side of the pitch in terms of my left mid and right mid. I really do need to strengthen them, guys. And Zerturbo here, great finish. And the thing is, he's another one. It's weird. We have so many players that I can't really be using all the time, because, as I say, we have 7 strikers, 7 left-backs. We have so many right-backs, so many keepers. And I'm sure quite a few of those guys will be quite good. But the thing is, there's an astronomical amount of them. We don't need that many strikers. We don't need that many left-backs and stuff. So some of them, who may not even get a game, may be better than the players we're playing. But, of course, unless I try them out, I won't know for sure. Zerturbo there, guys. He's fast. He's got great finishing. And his heading's brilliant. The only thing that lets him down is his hold-up play, and he just feels so clunky on the ball. Whenever I get the ball with Zerturbo, he's fast and stuff, but he feels absolutely clunky on the ball, and therefore, I'm in two minds really with him. I don't know if I want to sell him or keep him. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of that one. I was originally going to sell Raul Jimenez, so maybe I'll swap Zerturbo for Jimenez, and we'll keep hold of Jimenez, and then, of course, sell Zerturbo one. But you can see we're 2-0 up and cruising in this one, thanks to that Zerturbo goal, as you saw a second goal in this one for Raul Jimenez in the episode. Fantastic finish. And by the way, guys, you are seeing what you're seeing on the screen there, a dab. I've never dabbed in FIFA before. I was asking you guys how to do it, and of course you guys came through and told me, so I decided I was going to throw it in this episode and see what we could do in terms of the dab. It's a good little celebration, but if I'm being honest with you, it's not one that I would say I'm going to be using a lot in FIFA, to be honest. But you can see a great finish nonetheless by Raul Jimenez. Gets himself yet another league goal as well. So we're cruising in this one, 3-0 up, but maybe that scoreline was a little bit, I guess, it wasn't telling the whole story, was it? Because, I mean, if AC Milan had finished the 2 chances they had, Aubameyang's original effort in the first couple of minutes of the game to go 1-0 up possibly, this game could have gone an entirely different way. So even though he won the game by 3-0 and picked up 3 points from this one, I can't really read too much into that scoreline because, as I mentioned, it possibly wasn't a real-ish scoreline in the respect that we had 3 chances, we took them pretty much, and AC Milan had a couple and didn't take them in front of goal. When you've got to do that at the highest level, you have to take the chances that you get given at the highest level. And if you don't do that, you're going to be made to punish. You can see, though, by match facts, probably came out deserved winners in that one, of course. But, I mean, I forgot to mention Napoli in that list as well, of the teams that I mentioned earlier in Serie A that we've got to compete against. Napoli are in there as well. We have so many good teams, guys, that we're still yet to face in this one. We've faced AC Milan here, so that's one of them down. We've also got Lazio to come in another episode, so hopefully as well, that will be good. But we took on PSG here for the third and final one, and as I mentioned, I want to see how Donza can do against some of the world's best in respects of, you know, Champions League teams. Because we're going to come up against Barcelona, we're going to come up against Real Madrid. There's a chance and a really high possibility that we'll come up against Leeds United, of course, the best team in the world right now in terms of what they've won, the amount of trophies they've won, the team they've got, and everything like that. So, in terms of teams, Leeds are the team to beat. Leeds are the best team in the world, and that's what we did over there in Leeds. We are taking on PSG here, which was a team that was available to you guys for me to join. You guys are voted for Inter Milan, though, so we are here in Serie A, or Calcio 8, as it's now known, rather than over in France with PSG. But we'll take them on here, and this could be a nice indication as what I'm saying, because the Turbo here does start this one, I think. I think he started this one against PSG. I'm pretty sure he did. But anyways, if he doesn't start, then that's my apologies, but I'm pretty sure he does. And this is going to be an indication for me because they do have a couple of decent players, the PSG. I mean, looking at their entire team, it's very much like the Bayern Munich situation where we took them on at Leeds in the final. They have a very good midfield and attack. What lacks them is their defensive unit. You'll see it coming up in a second. You can see the team as soon as it pops up on your screen. And like I said, they have a great midfield, a great attack. Their defense, on the other hand, is very, very weak. You'll see it in a second. But one of the things I did like about PSG, if you don't know, guys, one of my favourite players in FIFA to use was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he is actually part of the PSG setup. I don't think he plays in this one, but I'm 100% sure that he's still at PSG. You can see we're topping the group right now on 6 points as well. 4 points on PSG, so if they win this one, it closes the gap as well. You can see the team on your screen, Pulisic, Baptistao, I think is how you say that, and of course I mentioned they've got a decent midfield and a pretty good attack as well. Their defensive lineup not so great in terms of our attack and in terms of their defense. In my opinion, we should be winning out in this one. You can see our team on your screen. Donza does, in fact, play in the base of the diamond there. And it's weird because I've sort of just gone straight to that diamond. I haven't really tested out another formation, which is something I will be doing over the course of this season for this Inter Milan setup because, of course, we came in and it was already set to the diamond, which is what we played at Leeds. But I want to make sure that I've tested out as much as I possibly can before settling on a formation. I did that quite a lot at Leeds. This, guys, there is honestly nothing you can do against that. That is just an incredible goal from Rabiot, and that has to be one of the greatest goals I have conceded in FIFA. Unreal. Rabiot with an absolutely crazy strike. 20 minutes into the game. This is one of those games where you just have to hold your head up and or hold your hands up and just say, you know what? It's just going to be not my day in this one. This is a crazy strike. And to score, or even take the strike on there, it's ridiculous. And he just rose into the top corner. And I thought, wow, what a goal. But I did try and get myself back in this. It took right until the 81st minute for us to create a chance. In all honesty, guys, we were poor throughout the majority of this one. But this it just sums me up, really. Because, to be honest with you, if I was winning the game by 2-0, that would have gone in the back of the net. That would have, hands down, ended up in the back of the net. And I would have been cruising in this one. Because I'm 1-0 down, my lack of finishing, my lack of composure in some ways let me down. We came away with a 1-0 defeat. The first defeat of our league, or our campaign here at Inter Milan. And I can't quite believe that's the way we're going to go and lose a game. That goal was incredible. And I have to hold my hands up and say, you know what? PSG deserved to win that game. And I say it right now, that goal has to be one of the greatest goals I have conceded in FIFA. Incredible strike, deserving of the 3 points in that one. It does, in fact, move us down into second place in the group as well now. But, you know, as this is our first season here at Inter Milan, there's still a lot of improvements I want to make to the side, and there's still a lot to come in this one. You can see where we sat in the table, second place, of course, 2 points behind Juventus, who we still have to play in the upcoming season. But, guys, if you've enjoyed this episode of the Career Mode, I'd appreciate it if you could hit that like rating. As always, guys, thank you all so much for everything you do on the channel. You guys are absolutely incredible for all the support you show me. If we could hit 60 likes, and 60 likes is a very difficult one, if we could hit 60 likes on this episode, that would be greatly appreciated. As always, guys, thank you all so much for watching this episode, and I will catch you all with another video very soon. Adios!